Hi everyone, Nancy here. Today is September 23, 19, not 19, it's 2019. Yeah, so guys, I can't believe again how, I'm just so shocked, guys, because we're so close to the end of the year. So shocked, but yep, the year came and it went really quickly, so hopefully things have been going very good for you guys or very well for you guys. Hopefully everything that you guys have been waiting for have either already started or maybe you have been given some kind of confirmation that it is about to start and you're just waiting for whatever blessing you're waiting for. Maybe you're just waiting for it to just arrive to you in some way. So hopefully that's happening to you. And for those of you who have not yet received anything new or different that you've been waiting for, don't worry, because stay in God's will and those things that you're waiting for are going to come. Okay? They're going to come. See, I'm waiting for the things too. I'm waiting to be relocated because the Lord God told me that what was that? Oh, it was my computer. I don't know if you guys heard like a chime. You know, you guys, some of you guys have computers where, I mean, like for some of your computers, you'll get like I have a Windows 10, right? So I don't know how it works with other computers like Macs or any other kind of computer where you will receive some kind of like a notice that will pop up on the side of your computer and it'll tell you something. Like, hold on a minute. Hold on. Okay, well, it's telling me that I need some kind of an action, so maybe I need to get back online again. Anyway, so yeah, yeah, just in case you guys heard that little noise, ding, like a chime, that was my computer. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna talk about addicts, right? Some people are addicted to things. Like I'm talking about alcohol and drugs. I'm not talking about other forms of addictions. I'm talking about alcohol and drugs. You see, guys, I've never dealt I've never had I've never dealt with alcoholism or drug addiction with people that I know, or like in my life I've never known anybody like that. But then one day when I realized one person that I knew had an addiction, I was shocked. And then that was the only person that I knew that had an addiction, and I've never dealt with people who have addictions, so I didn't know how to deal with them. I didn't know how to handle them. And first of all, I didn't even know they were addicted to something. Like they were addicted to drugs. And but yeah, so that was kind of shocking to me because yeah, it was shocking to me because like I said, I've never known anybody who's been addicted to anything. So when you come across somebody that is addicted to drugs or alcohol, then you get shocked because you're shocked because you're like, I can't believe this person that I've known for so many years, or this friend that I met and I've known them for this amount of years, that they suddenly became an addict, and you just get shocked because you don't know anybody, right? So anyway, so my topic is about how drug addicts and alcoholics are selective, like whenever it comes to the help that you want to give them. I'll give you one example. So the friend that I'm referring to, that I found out that they were on drugs, that happened like in 2003. That's when I found out that they were on drugs. And then I tried to help them. Like when I first found out they were on drugs, then I tried to help them, but they didn't want any help. So, when you're trying to help a drug addict and all they're concerned about is what they can get out of you, you become very exhausted, and then you have to remove those people from your life. So that's what I did. I removed that person from my life, and it made me sad because, this person, guys, this person was the kind of person who had a lot of compassion for other people. They were so kind. They were so they were really like, they would stick up for other people. If they saw somebody that was in any kind of trouble, like if they saw that somebody was going to get assaulted, they would get involved, and they would rather fight that person. They would rather fight the abuser or the person who was trying to assault another person than let the victim get assaulted. Like, that's how they were. They were so, like, if they saw a stranger, they would just go and help that person. This is the kind of person they were. They were not a coward. They were just completely, very. They were just somebody who was the complete opposite of what they turned into after they became a drug addict. But you know what? Look, I can't believe I was going to call you guys Lord again. I was about to say, you know what, Lord? No, sorry, guys. I was about to say, you know what, guys? I also noticed that even though this person became a drug addict, they still had that quality about them. They would still go and jump into something. Not that they had the habit of fighting or anything. No, I'm just saying this was their personality. Even if they did see somebody in trouble, they would still go and get involved and help that person, even though they were on drugs. This is what I saw in them. I witnessed it. They were very they were just like, I saw this inside their soul. I saw it in their composure. I saw it in their I saw this. Okay, I was able to see inside them, and I saw that part of who they were. Even though they had become a drug addict, it was still there. So if you were in trouble and they saw you, if they saw you getting into some kind of trouble where you needed some help, this person would go help you. They didn't care that they were on drugs. They would go. It's like they were so wired to help out other people that no matter, even if they were so addicted, they would forget about their own safety and go and help that other person. This is who they were. So that at least you have, some people who are addicted to drugs, they never lose what they're made up of in their hearts, even though they're allowing the drugs to take over their lives. When they're placed in a situation where they know where they see that somebody else is in trouble, it's like their addiction just suddenly it disappears, and they're only focused on saving or helping that person. I didn't know that some drug addicts had that kind of thing in them, because all I've ever been taught based on, documentaries and reports, like, people, like, just like documentaries and reports about what drug addicts are. All I've ever learned was that they're so selfish and they could care less about another human life. Right? That's what I learned. But the first time when I saw my friend show compassion, like the first time I saw inside my friend's heart that their heart had not changed, even though they were so addicted, that's what shocked me. I said, oh, I had no idea that some drug addicts still had the ability to not think about themselves, but they had the ability and the desire to place other people before them. Because from what I know, guys, drug addicts and alcoholics are more concerned with getting whatever they need in order to fill up their body with those drugs and alcohol, so that they can cope with whatever they're dealing with. And that's true. They have a very strong, they're only, like, their number one goal is to always find a way to get high or to be drunk because of whatever they're going through. That's a fact. That is a fact. And a lot of people who are dealing with others in their lives who have drug addicts in their lives, whether they're friends or related to them, they know firsthand that drug addicts and alcoholics, their main focus is to get from others in any way that they can the money that they need in order to buy those drugs or their alcohol. And I may sound harsh, but I didn't set the rules for how drug addicts and alcoholics live their lives. This is a fact, right? This is a fact, and it's out there. But what I'm saying is, I had no idea that there was such a thing as addicts who who also place other people before their own safety. And I find that this is most likely a very, very small percentage. I find that this is probably I believe that it is a very small percentage. Okay? That there are addicts like the person that I knew who would place themselves in danger even though they were so addicted. They would rather place themselves in danger to go help somebody than go off and find some drugs to get themselves high. This is the kind of person that they were. You know? So anyway, so now I'm going to get to the selective part. So, so the friend that I was talking about, I moved on from them. I cut off this friend. Yeah, like way back in 2003, I cut them off. So that was the last time I heard of them, saw them. Yeah, so anyway, so then when was this? Around 6 years ago? No, 7 years ago. Wow, I wonder if you guys were able to see that, because I saw a gigantic, like I'm looking out my window but above you guys, and I saw a huge dragonfly. I love the way they fly. I don't like dragonflies around me either, guys. They don't bite you. They don't bite you either. That's what I learned. They don't bite you. And if they were to bite you, what I learned is that our skin is too tough for their little teeth or whatever they have, those prongs or whatever, to puncture our skin. But they said that the research said that some dragonflies, depending on their size, they can puncture our skin, and then they said it would be a very painful thing. So, but they don't bother you. They just like to hover. But I still don't want them around me. And I've been seeing butterflies, a lot of monarch butterflies. By the way, I learned that monarch butterflies are a sign of new beginnings. So if you're seeing butterflies, that's prophetic, okay? You are about to see some new beginnings happening in your life. Okay, guys? Yes, so I learned that from a prophetess named, what's her name? Jennifer LeClaire. She is so cool. She's also a seer, and right now she's in the, she just finished doing some prophetic conferences with Angel TV. I'm going to have those, Angel TV, I'm going to have them posted in the links for you. Okay, guys, so about 7 years ago, my family and I started, we were living in another, like in the location prior to where we are right here. So we were living in this other location, and we had a neighbor that lived around the corner from us, and they were always coming by and asking us for help and everything. And so we couldn't say no. So we always were helping them. They were having a really tough time. So they would always come by and ask for food. And so then my mother would put together some groceries for them and send them back to their house with, some good food and, a nice amount to last them a while. And so, yeah, so, we were doing that, right? Once in a while, they would come around and ask for some money to go, like, they needed to get onto the transit, or they needed to buy some medication and things like that. So then we would give them money, and so we would do that for them. And then one day I became suspicious because they came around and they asked my mother for some money to get on the transit. So my mother said, okay, I don't have any small change. All I have are 20s, so I'll give you a 20, but I will let you have the 10, and you bring me back the 10. And they said, okay. So they left, and they never came back. So a month later, right? Like a month later, they came back asking for some more money. So in my mind, I'm like, what's happening? Like, why are they asking for more money if they were supposed to give us back the 10? And what did they do with the other 10? I became very suspicious. So then, hold on, did I mess up the story again? How did the story go? Okay, I think this is how the story went. So the person came, asked my mother for some change, and so my mother said, "Okay, I only have a 20 on me, and then you take the 10 and you bring it back." So then they didn't come back. In that week, they didn't come back. So then I became suspicious, and then I said, "Father, it's good to help people. And the person we were helping has always been very responsible. Every time we've given this person money, they've always brought it back. They've always paid us back. You know, they not because we asked for it, but they wanted to show us that they were responsible. So they would always bring it back. My mother would say, "No, you don't have to give this back." And they would say, "No, I want to give this to you because I want you to see that I'm being responsible." Because they've had money problems in the past, right? So they wanted to show that they were being responsible in the way they were handling their funds. So my mother would say, "Okay, because you want, this means something to you, it means a lot to you to show me that you're being responsible, I will accept it." So every time he would, bring back money, then my mother would accept it. Okay, that's fine. But that one time when they came and they asked for the money for the transit, and my mother said, "Here's the 20, please bring me back the 10." And they said, "Okay, I'll do that." They didn't come back. So then at the end of the week, that's why I became suspicious, and I said, "Father God, it's good to help people, but I'm just having suddenly I'm having a strong suspicion. It's in my heart, it's just rising up in me." I said, "Lord, I don't want for us to stop the help, because if they really needed the entire 20, right, and that's the reason for why they did not come back, and we stopped helping them, then I would feel really bad, and my mother would feel really bad. So I would like for you to show me, is there like just show me with absolute certainty, is this person really using them at this point, is the person really using the money for what they're saying they need it for?" By the way, guys, if I can see the streaks on my window, they're really pronounced. So sorry, guys. I would be outside, but it's the bees. They don't stop coming by to bother me. So okay. So then that's what I said to the Lord. Please, if this person is really using the money, if this person is not using the money for what it is intended for, then please show us. But if they are, then yes, show us. Show us so that we can continue helping. Because I would hate to stop helping if I just assume, that they're doing bad things with the money. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, about a month later, the person showed up again, and they asked my mother if they could borrow, I forget how much it was. I think it was for medication. So then my mother gave them, I don't know, whatever it was for medication, and then this person didn't come back, but they continued coming. Like, they didn't come back to give the money, but they kept coming back for more money and for more food and all that, and da-da-da-da-da. And although we didn't mind, my heart was completely, really heartbroken, because I'm like, there has to be a way that what's going on? Because he's not coming back, or like they're not coming back to give the money back. And sometimes she says, "I'll show up." Like, she'll call and sometimes she'll say, "Okay, I'm going to show up on this day," and they don't show up. So yeah, I was just a bit worried. So then one day, the person came by and they asked my mother for some change for the transit again. So then my mother gave them a 20, and she told the person to come back with the 10 and make sure to use the 10 for the transit, and then just bring back the other 10. And she said, "Okay, I will do that." And we never saw them again. But then we found out through somebody else who's very close to them, this other person, there's another person that has been helping them as well. And this person, they know this person like really, really, really well. They know a lot of more details about this person's life than we do. So we found out through this person that they are once again back addicted to drugs. And that this person asked us, have you been giving this person any money? And my mother, she felt really bad, so she didn't tell him the truth. She said, no, we haven't been giving her any money. So then the person said, okay, that's good. So that's how we found out that the person we were helping, our neighbor, was back on drugs again. And so I felt really bad because I felt so betrayed. I felt like a big knife had been like stuck at the top of my back and stuck in there really, really deep, and then just like rammed all the way down to the bottom of my back like that. I felt as if though that had happened to my mother and myself. Because it was a really horrible betrayal. And by this point, guys, when we found out that this person had been, got like had been using us, actually it was already about a year. I may have made a mistake for how long this person was being dishonest. It was actually, because sometimes I get my dates wrong, but it was actually a year, and about a year and a half, because the person after that person's like, okay, the neighbor that warned us, the neighbor that came to, not warn us, but the neighbor that came to ask us, have you been giving her any money? That neighbor, okay, that neighbor was the one that told us about what's going on. So then the person that we were helping, the girl that we were helping, we had been helping her for about a year and a half. And so then one day when that girl showed up at our house, he said, do you mind if, like, I don't have any food, and do you mind if I have, some food? And then I told the girl, I said, you know what? I need to tell you something, and I need for you to understand that we can no longer help you, because we just learned that you have been using us, and it's been going on for a little bit over a year. So the girl, she just kept quiet, and then her eyes looked down, and her head was bowed down to the floor. And I could tell, they felt really bad, and inside I was upset, right? I was really upset. But they were probably going through shame, right? And embarrassment, and they felt bad, because way inside her heart, she's not like that, because we knew what she was like outside of the drug addiction. She was a really, really sweet person, just a wonderful human being, very helpful, always loves to do odd jobs and things like that. But when I told her that we knew what was going on, then they felt really bad. And then after I told her what happened, that we already found out, while her head was down and her eyes were looking down at the ground, I said, I know what's going on, and from now on, no more food, and no more money. And then they left, and they never came around again. But because they lived just around the corner from us, we would always see her. And so every time I would see her, I could see, like for example, if I would exit my house and I would go around the corner to go to the bank, and I would see her coming towards me, because she lived just like 3 houses next to the bank around the corner. It was really awkward for her and me, because it was a terrible situation that just happened. Like one day I was walking to the bank, and then I saw her coming. She had just exited her house, and she was coming towards in my direction, and I was walking towards her, because that's where the bank was. And she noticed me, and I could feel the anger that was inside of her. There was no hatred